Welcome back to Tran wins SIGNALIS. Chapter 2, Liminality. I know you're here. I've done this countless times before. You don't belong here. Mr. Done this countless times before is just staring over an open hole. We'll get there very shortly. You can see that there's nothing to be looking at. There are many dead ends here, and there's no map. We take a look, no map data. There is one pack of hidden rifle ammo, which we'll collect. Also, one of the best weapons in the game is right here, but it's really just a prop piece. High power mining lasers. They're too large and heavy for me to use. Sad face. There's really not much to do. Might be a dark and creepy mine, but there's no monsters in the first few areas, so you don't have to worry. Tran, spoiling horror games since forever. Nitro Express ammo. That's rifle ammo right there. Here's a miner. Ah, hello. You're not a protector, are you? What brings you here? I'm Bayo. If you're down here, you're probably looking for something. I'd help you, but one of my hydraulics failed and I can't move. I'm pretty much done for, so you can just leave me here. There's no point repairing an old unit like me, so don't worry about it, okay? It'd be a waste of resources. I'd offer you my mining laser, but I don't think your frame could supply the power output. You're probably better off using a gun. There should be some useful equipment in the mining office. It's just south of here. Don't worry about me. There are many replacements. We're just replicas after all, right? In the end, what's one drop to an ocean? When I die, they'll just make another. Thank you for talking to me. I hope you find what you're looking for. And here's the supply room she was talking about. Over here, another new weapon. A flare gun. It uses signal flare shells, and this is amazing. On lower difficulty modes, it can take down basically a sub-boss monster in one shot. Alina's Diary, Part 3. It's worse than I thought. Everyone has disappeared. I still haven't found any trace of Elster. It's as if she had never been here. Something's wrong with the protectors, those that are still around. A guard spotted me earlier sneaking out of the medical wing, and she let out a monstrous scream as she chased after me. When I looked back, I saw her face. Now I can't forget. It looked like she'd been in some horrible accident. Miner. Mining nuclear tech. High security replica. Mina. Alright, so drop off everything. Don't think we'll need any of that. I mean, I could bring, say, a pistol for self-defense, but I'm really okay. Yeah, I think I don't want to bring a pistol. I barely want to bring the flashlight because I want to carry more stuff with me, but I think the flashlight helps you see the recording. I have not yet plotted the next route by the time of this recording, so I'm gonna just take one trip in and see how that goes. The game does a pretty good job with lighting. here's the first room with enemies. There's a lot of enemies, and there's not any treasure in this room, so you don't really have to kill anybody. This part you'll want a flashlight for. Typically, it's not like it changes or anything, so if it's your first run through it, you'll probably want a flashlight. Monofilament fiber. Handle with care. Risk of death. Monofiber will effortlessly cut through limbs and equipment in an instant. Always wear protective clothing. Do not touch monofiber without proper protective gear. Only handle in brightly lit places. Because this is a game, you can actually walk through it. You will take damage, but you can walk through it. On survival mode, you'll take an extreme amount of damage, or your character will die outright if you don't have any damage reduction. I say this because there is a healing item surrounded by monofiber later on. If you're on lower difficulty modes, it's a plausible thing to go get it. Hey, don't cry. It'll be over soon. Remember that time we went to the surface? The stars were so beautiful. I wish we could go there again. Hey, listen. I'll let you in on a secret. I can remember my name from my old life. Isn't that funny? Don't you want to know it? Here, I'll tell you. It'll be our secret together. So you can stop crying, okay? It'll be okay. Wherever it is I'm going, I'll wait for you there. I don't really like walking upwards in this game because the enemy will always see you first. If I had just walked straight up there, but yeah, it's I don't like walking upwards because you can't see what's going on as a player. There's no reason that your character couldn't see what's going on though. This door will lock behind you once you activate the next thing. So this is a point. This is one of the many points of no return. An enemy can be there or there. There's one that's patrolling, and there's two stationary enemies. Once you flip this switch, all the enemies will be alerted to your presence. There's an item on the top left. I'm just trying to figure out which side this enemy's on. Normally they're on the right side, but not always. Occasionally they've been on this side. Coming this way. There's an item right there. There's another miner unit right there. Okay. I prefer if both of these long-legged units are in the same area. She does patrol down here. Just for whatever reason, she decided that she wants to... There we go. And this way, I can try to ring around the rosy, everybody. They spotted me before I hit the button. Problem is, I don't know where the miner is. He could be blocking the... Yep, there's blocking this entire thing right there. Yeah, let's try running for it now. Yeah, I didn't get hit by the goop. That's good. The shaft inside. Okay, I'm going. I'll read it. I'll pause it during editing and read it aloud to you. The shaft inside the hatch is slightly angled. It looks safe to slide down. Slide down? Yes. Again, I'll take all the wrong ways first on purpose. This is where the cutscene was going on earlier. You can never come back to this room once you leave it. There's only one way in, which you cannot return to, and there's only one way out, which you cannot return through. There's a repair spray and 10mm ammo for your inventory management consideration. There's this weird looking thing here. In the front, it looks very weird. Probably because it's just directly lined up with the camera. That's probably why it looks so weird. Maybe it's just a slate of wood. I don't know. Like, it could be just a wooden support beam. But this is where... Yeah, it probably is, because this is the area with the cutscene. So yeah, the only thing that if he was chasing her, she would have to be right under that light. Or... under this light. Or in this open field. There's nowhere for this supposed I've done this countless times before guy to be worried. And yet, he's walking here and doesn't notice her behind the beams. Really? Mr. I've done this countless times before. There's a huge hole in the ground. I can hear the sound of water from below. It looks like there's no other way. Jump into the hole? Yes. This next section is timed. There are notes that you could read on the floor, and once the time has run out, you will be pulled back into the game. I am personally not a fan of these segments. It's not that I'm creeped out by the first person's perspective or anything. I just feel like this is... If this was what the game was, I would not want to play the game. And what I actually want to do is actually play the game, not this stuff. The night where black stars rise and strange moons circle the skies, but stranger still. So there's a bunch of notes. There's even stuff on the other side, but we'll just go and explore this side first. As with the time limit, we're not going to be able to touch everything, but that leaves more for you to discover if you play the game. Song of blank unsung, as tears unshed shall dry and die. It calls me in a sea of flesh. We will become one, but I can never go back to being me. There's the Yellow King book right there, but you can't get it. You can just look at it. This might be more tolerable if your character in this first-person perspective moved faster. But yeah, I don't know. It could just be that I have no sense of aesthetics or something. Along the shore, the cloud waves break, the twin suns sink, the shadows lengthen. We'll touch all the notes we can, but we're not going to be able to in one run up the beach. For there be something sorts of death, some wherein the body remembers, some it vanished quite away with the spirit. I don't know if these are actual pages from the Yellow King book. I don't know. It's a famous story which I've never heard of until this game, but apparently a lot of people have feelings about it, as in feelings of horror. One kind of death, the spirit also die, while yet the body was in vigor for many years. Sometimes it dieth with the body, but blank is raised up again, where the body did decay. This is a nice smooth turning though. And the blank star fell in the sky, and a mountain fell into the sea and turned into blood. The moon turned dark. It caused me in a sea of flesh. We saw that one. I guess we did hit all the pages. Huh. All right, we are introduced to what I call the Yule 2.0s or Yule Pluses. They are now with glowing eyes. Rested surgical tools. They're not much use to me. I don't know about that. I killed a replica with just a knife. I mean, if you're low on ammo, and I am, you can take those tools and fight all day. Offerings. And in the darkness the dead shall be offered a light and holy spices, so that they may find a way out of this cursed place. A small cup filled with sand for placing offerings stands in front of the ancestral shrine. I grew up with one of these. Well, not this specifically. It was a plate of fruit. And we would put incense sticks in it to pay homage to our ancestors. So you're looking for an incense stick, is what I'm saying. There was no jump cut there. This is what I call the reverse room. So in the map I've drawn for myself, I've simply flipped the directions instead of trying to make it link to another room and then make it link back, because then it'll be a weird spaghetti mess of details. We have plenty of inventory space. We'll go and sweep up everything. Again, I've not yet routed. I still don't know how to say that. This path. Now, I know the solution to this lock, but we are going to wait until we've discovered it in the game. Oops, I guess. Okay, I see. You haven't. I don't know if you've really seen that other than the fire key, but your character points towards the bad ending if you try to pick up items when you have no room. There's an enemy right here, and I don't know where it is. Right there. But they always detect you. There's another item to pick up, but we'll have to sweep it on our next run. Okay. This is a wall for right now, but there's actually an entrance behind it later on once you've fought a boss in this area. This will open up. So do remember that. There's actually an achievement associated with this. This place, blank here, nothing valued is here. What is blank was dangerous and repulsive. Blank message is a warning about blank. The danger is still present. Time as it was, blank is to the body and blank. I don't like reading these notes. I feel like I'm not getting anything out of it. Maybe I'm supposed to be creeped out by it, but since the message has no content, I feel nothing. Blank form of the danger is blank. The danger is blank. Disturb this place blank. Shunned and left uninhabited. When blank within is killed, a path will open here. Okay, I guess the boss, sure, but alright. This enemy will patrol here, and there's another enemy that will patrol left and right, up ahead. If you did decide to kill them, remember that enemies only revive when you walk near them, so you could lure them in an area you didn't feel like going in. There she is. Alright, let's just go ahead and go. There's a rusted locked door on the left and an open passage on the north. Here's another one of those locks that do not have a changing solution. At least as of this version of the game, the solution is not randomized. Here's a note. I would say it's an improvement over the other notes we've seen. Leave. Leave this place. I do think that's an improvement of the other notes we've seen, because this one we actually understand. So let's go ahead and drop off our stuff. I don't know what to bring, because again, I've not yet rooted this. This is still my first run of this place, though I have looked at it before. Let's go and make a save. Welcome back. For you, it'll be the same episode, but for me, it's been a day or so. I have spent time routing out what I need to do next. So we're gonna dump my flashlight. We're gonna get the photo module because I want to show you something. Normally, if you're really don't need this, I'm just again part of the walkthrough. And take the pistol, flare gun, and one. Well, you probably need. Yeah, I'll need one more bullet, and we'll take a single flare shell. Let's go ahead and reload this. Grab my flare gun and let's get moving. So yes, I'm not carrying the flashlight at the moment. This is what I call the monitor room. You can find information in this section. We're gonna go ahead and get the Nitro Express ammo, as well as this ring. We can't get this yet because we're full on inventory, so we'll take care of that in a minute. So why did I bring the photo module? It's for this. Let's go ahead and equip this, and then we're going to toggle our transceiver. You can see that if I turn it off, this stops. So what you need to do is you can start from the beginning and just start taking screenshots or use your photo module. Now, there are some icons that aren't used, but there's 6 icons total, and you have 6 slots in your photo module. We'll go and use it. I'll press C, to the use button, and we'll capture a photograph of this infinity symbol. If I encounter a door with the infinity symbol, which there is not currently one, I would use this code. Now, at the time of this game version, none of the codes are random. So I don't actually need to do this. I have the codes written down in my notes, but this is to teach you how to do it in case maybe the game does change it one day. So if I see a 3-sided object, I do the backwards C symbol. If I see this 4-sided object, I do this K symbol. If I see this 5-sided object, I do what I call the pickaxe symbol, like Minecraft. If I see this 6-sided object, which you won't, I do this cross symbol. And finally, I call this the 6-leaf clover, but it took a lot of space in my notes, so I changed it to asterisk. It doesn't sound as cool. I use what I consider the ladle symbol. I mean, if you have a better name for it, go for it. That's all 6 items. We can take a look, and we have them all recorded with a faint glimmer of one of the, we'll turn off that radio, one of the symbols. Okay, so if we ever need to consult our notes, it's right there. There's a gaping hole in the pulsing flesh. Drop down. Okay, this next section, if you are easily frightened, could be a little creepy for you. I'll keep you safe. We're going to trivialize this next encounter. I'm going to fire 2 shells into it. Then I'm going to switch to the pistol, and I'm going to fire 3 rounds at max aim on it. So, in the second episode, I learned about all the different enemies. By this episode, I have learned about damage and how it works on both the player and the enemies. So now we're done. We're just going to wait for him to die. Either you wait or you do enough damage, and then Isa, the chick in the corner, will get up and kill him. She won't wake up. Get the bullets. Reload my gun. Get the thermite. Drop everything off. And I want my flashlight. Turn it off for the next room. I have everything mapped out, routed out. But it's not too necessary. You'll pretty much hit every room in this dungeon. Because you need pretty much everything. The only problem is that there's a lot of loot. So you might have to go to the lockbox a lot. And that's kind of a good problem to have. Okay, this next room, there are no monsters. This wire is fatal if you're on survival mode with no damage reduction, and you only get damage reduction if you die. When you die, if you go to your diagnostics and hit the interact key, you can see triangles for every time you have died. This is actually a hidden way, but I'll show you the normal way. We'll be back where I picked up the repair spray. Now, if you don't have the flashlight, it's actually much harder to see any of these wires. Like that, you can't even see it. At least I can't. So there's 2 things we really need in here. The rested key. and the plate of flesh. This, what I would consider a trapped repair spray. If you're on an easier difficulty mode, or if you have lots of damage reduction currently in effect, yeah, go ahead and get it. But otherwise, do not try for it. Maybe if enough interest takes place, I'll explain how the math of the game works. Pick the shotgun rounds and the Regent's Ring. Now we have to head back to base and drop everything off. Okay, we're gonna drop everything. We need every single inventory spot. I want that stun rod. That's fine, I'll do this. Climb up this ladder, get the repair spray, and we're going to unlock this door. It's going to lead us somewhere we've been before. This is, again, what I call the reverse room. To the left is where we landed. To the right is the classroom, eventually. Now we're carrying a stun rod, so we can stack it. There's actually no need to rush, because every time I've done this, the enemy has been on the right side. And I need to get that wooden doll. I have one more inventory slot. Now this used to be a wall. It is now a door. It only opens once you've defeated that cage, the hands thing. So this is our last inventory slot, small bottle. It is an achievement if you're playing this on Steam. The Dreamer. A prison from which the only escape is death. Deep below, the dreamer floats in the sea of flesh. The red eye birthing a new world from their dream for eternity, and each time the dreamer turns over in their sleep. The world turns over too, until only flesh remains. Take this ladder down. Now we're at the intersection right in front of the classroom. And drop everything off. You need the flashlight. Well, I won't, so that you can see the wires. We'll take that along. We're gonna take the empty flare gun, the revolver, and the rest of the key. I think that's it. Yeah, I think that's all I need. 2 bullets in my pistol, 6 bullets in the revolver, and an empty flare gun. I think that's all the equipment. We'll start with the revolver and we'll make a save. This one always patrols in the triangle, and this one always patrols like this. If you're not the patient sort, or you have lots of ammo, or you just want to get rid of them, you can always just kill them in one of the hallways and take the other hallway every time. We're gonna have to visit this room a few times. Like I said, there's just so much loot in the game. So we're gonna pick up this grenade shell. 26.5mm grenade launcher shells, designed to be fired from a flare gun. Explode instantly on impact. For some reason, so many people do not seem to realize that the grenade shells gets used in a flare gun. I guess they never looked at the item. I don't know. You have to combine it. If you go to this and select reload, it doesn't work because this is a specific item called the flare gun item. This is a different item. This is what I'm saying. As far as the game is concerned, it uses a different field or data slot. Right. So what you need to do is you need to create a new item, like we create a new item with the hunter case key and all that stuff. We can combine it with the flare gun, and it creates a brand new toy. If you had a flare in it, it gets put to the side in your empty slot. So now it is a grenade launcher. We're still going to use the revolver. So for this one, I need to make the K symbol. turn on my flashlight. Okay, there is a Yule right there, Euler, but right now I'm actually more worried about that tile. This one is actually the hardest part, is trying to get a perfect shot on this guy, so I might have to take more than one shot. Or try at it, because I just don't have, I don't want to spin 2 revolver ammo. Now, you can actually just shove them into the wire and kill them that way, but it's not a reliable means, and I'm trying to make a walkthrough here that you can do. So, this area over here, you can walk around it, not that one, and not that one. But this is stuff that you can use to evade if you really had to. And maybe I will if I don't kill him, who knows. So let me turn off the flashlight so I'm less likely to track him, walk closer to trigger that, and then I'll run away and try to line up the shot as fast as possible. There we go. Good. Alright, that's the first chance. I need to succeed at 3 of these. I'm going to keep my flashlight on, but there is an enemy up ahead. You can see that she's not moving her cursor, or crosshairs, or whatever you want to laser beam. Look to the top, and you'll see legs right there. This is one of the reasons why I don't like moving up or down in maps, because you just don't get enough vision. But I'm telling you that there's a dude right there. I have my flashlight on. It doesn't matter. He doesn't spot me at this range, but I will go and fire, and then I'll swap to my pistol. These guys... Oh, darn, yeah, anyways, these guys have more hit points than the old Eulers. These have lit eyes. So I'm going to take a max aim shot. And he didn't die. Well, he didn't fall over is what I was looking for. So watch the person's blade. As soon as the blade goes up, I'll take a shot. It's not that I'm doing extra damage. That's just as long as... That's like the max amount of aiming time I have is why I did that. I want to make sure that I had full aim on it. Okay. Very rarely, maybe like 1 in 10 shots have I ever made a guy fall down with the first revolver bullet. This kind of enemy. Don't back into the wire. Again, just look at his blade. If you didn't see it the first time, look at his blade and then shoot when he raises it. It's not that I do extra damage or anything. It's just I want to make sure I get the best aim. All right, here's another hard part. This is the reason why I might have to do this more than once. There's an enemy here, and just bonus extra credit, you don't need to. I'm going to try to get this enemy here, and we're going to use this high explosive round to kill all 3 of them. I might not make it. I mean, whatever. I'll do another take if I don't make it, but still. Lure him in just a little bit closer. Trigger both of these guys. Try to aim at the middle one. Keep the crosshair on him. Fire! Yes! Alright, just in case, I'm gonna get my revolver out. There's one more guy right there. I haven't triggered him yet, and if we get that and leave, we don't even need to kill him. I'm actually conserving my gear. I just happen to kill a lot of dudes in this area because there's so many wires. Okay. That was a really good deployment. I just gotta make sure I don't get tagged by these guys camping. Like that? Seriously? I gotta do that all over again. Alright, give me a second. I'm gonna do it again. Because I'm not gonna take that. I'm not gonna... That is so cheap, game. It's not that they were standing there waiting for me. It's that they just happened to be walking back and forth. That's the one that patrols this side of the hall. So yeah, I could somewhat understand it if they were deliberately waiting for me to return. That's not what's happening. What's happening is your character, when she's entering the room, has a waypoint to just charge boldly into the room. And that can be problematic when the enemy also shares that same spot. I mean, they patrol randomly. As long as you've entered the room once since you've loaded it, they will walk around in that area. Okay, she fell over. I saw that. I'm looking to see if the feet move or if she falls. The pillar is getting in the way of trying to lock a max aim bonus, so that's why I don't even bother. Alright, hopefully I can still pull it off. Oh, come on, you weren't supposed to pop out then. They can't actually walk into the wire as well as push each other into it by accident. Okay, please hit it. Sometimes that happens. Sometimes no damage is inflicted. All right, let me try this again. Be right back. And the thing is, I have practiced this a lot. I would have gotten through it if it wasn't for that spawn camping. Okay, obviously for your playthrough, you shouldn't do it this way, but this is the best use of high explosives in the game, and I want to show it off. Now, the reason why I need to turn off the light is if I'm running down from here without turning off my light, that guy will hear me louder than if I had my light off. That's actually the hardest one to get consistently. Okay, I can hear him screaming. I don't want to go back and save just because I've made progress, but I think you want to watch me struggle. At least I assume you do to some degree. You don't want me to do something wrong, but watching a couple things mess with me, I think is what people enjoy seeing. I'm not 100% sure. So I do know that being constantly too successful means that the recipe is stale. What? Seriously? I saw that whiff. I wonder if I can lure him into the... I mean, that works. It's a lot less cost effective than my first run in it, but I mean, I made it, and I think I put on a good show. Okay, so my inventory is completely full. I can't take any of this stuff. So we're gonna have to leave for now. Drop everything off except for the flashlight. And we'll make another save. Right here, we're going to need the backwards C. Turn off the light before going in. Now, recall what I talked about, how the AI will need to resume its movement to the checkpoint. So you can see he's walking this way. You'd think he might be walking in this circle. He's actually walking the other direction. He just starts like over here, and this is his first checkpoint, and he'll always walk in this pattern. So when you first enter the room, sure, he might be walking in this direction, but he'll quickly reverse course once he hits this checkpoint. We're not going to worry about this room right now. We're actually going to worry about the room next door. This room is pitch black. There's an enemy right to the north who will get alarmed if I shine the light in their direction. And there's 4 other enemies in this room. Straight ahead, you can see this ring that we want to get. Now, again, you can't interact in the dark, but we're going to walk up to it at least. And we can't do anything. So I'm going to flick the light on, grab it, and try to lure all the enemies around me and get the one shotgun round that's in the back of the room. All right, next we're gonna get this. So he's gonna walk back here, I guess. He almost hit that checkpoint or something, but he's gonna walk back here and then he's gonna continue this. I sometimes I know get this without alarming the enemy. Okay, now the tough part. I need to get these two without getting hit. I think the easiest thing to do is wait for everybody to get on the right side. So I'll make a dive for it if this guy gets over here or if he starts vomiting. Also, his footsteps are really quiet. Oh, yeah, there's a colibri in the next room. So let's go ahead and go to settings, audio, and lower this all the way to the bottom because I find the radio frequency to be annoying. It still takes effect even if you don't hear it. Another way to kill the colibri is to use the radio frequencies that do damage to it. There's a bug in the game where you might have to leave the room to continue to do damage to it, but it should generally take 2 to 3 good frequency hits to hit it. You'll hear it scream if you're actually doing damage. Let's go ahead and trigger. Okay, now we need to get through that door before he gets up and shoots us. Those things charge, so it's something to be aware of. All right, the next room, we're immediately deal with the colibri. 205. So I'm going to go to this immediately and switch to 205. And when we flip back, you should hear it scream when I do damage. All right, let's go to 203. It didn't scream again, so we're going to leave and come back. But just in case, we'll stick around, do 183. Yeah, it's not screaming. So I'll leave and come back. Wait for them to reset, so we'll go and unlock this in the meantime. Hopefully they're not standing right outside the door. I've had enough of that. Yeah, I didn't see it. I mean, I saw it, but I didn't register it mentally. I think that killed it. Because my radio turned off. Okay, that's all I wanted. I think in that room is stuff I can't pick up. I guess I can peek at it right now while I wait for this guy to get out of my way. Let's see, incense stick, note, and grenade shells. Also a repair spray. How much stuff do I have on me? 5 things. Let me check my notes real quick. I'm not quite sure what I think I accidentally counted that I brought 2 items out, but I only brought 1. So I guess I can pick this up now. Because according to my notes, I should be full. So either I missed an item or I probably miscounted how many I started with in my planning. So now we're back in this room here. Watch that real quick. So repair spray. We're not carrying we're only carrying a repair plus. So what I've got is a plan to hopefully the guy's not in front of this door because sometimes he is. That was kind of close. Maybe I'll kill him too. So according to my notes, I just need to go and collect a few of the items we've skipped. But we've seen how lame getting touched by the patrol routes are. So we're just actually going to go ahead and make a save. Even though we haven't done that much, we will just go ahead and save. I've had enough of loading just because of the whole wire room stuff. But yeah, even though I had 5 or 6 inventory slots used up, there's just so much stuff that I can't bring it all back in one trip. But I have planned out my routes. I mean, I really have. For example, I've even practiced running down alongside that wall and not getting caught. By practice, I mean I tried it once and you won't get caught as long as you hug the wall. Grenade shells, incense stick, and a repair spray. Alina's diary, 4. How long has it been that I'm down here? How did I get here? Where is this place and why am I here? My memory feels so blurry, as if I had always been here, forever. Even my hair is slowly turning white. I remember my name, and I remember my life. But I also remember a different name and a different life. It feels like the line between her and me is blurring the longer I stay here. Okay, that's it. There's nothing here you can interact with. That's all just decoration. Time to get the rings. We have collected 3 of them. For this next one, I need to use the ladle. At first, I wanted to call it something cooler like the Dipper or something, but I'm not really sure what that actually looks like, so... I'm not a constellations person. I can't make out shapes. You tell me that's a horse, and I'll just have to say, yeah, it's a horse. I don't know. So this one patrols up and down across this checkpoint and the far end checkpoint, whereas this one patrols like this. So the first time they come through, you'll probably get caught. You can really run through. It's actually not that difficult. But we're just going to go ahead and run through them anyways, because I don't want to wait for like 3 or 4 orbits for them to synchronize. If you try to run on the right after you've observed their pattern, you will get hit by the one that has 4 waypoints. The Empress's hand. Empress. We start from right to left. On the first day, she was crowned. On the longest day, nothing was done. On the next day, she was wed. On the last day, she took her life. Okay, so we have here a nice creepy looking hand. So they say on the first day she was crowned and all this stuff. I'm actually going to work backwards. I think of the word sword. SWORD. So S. I make up these acronyms. That's an easy way to remember stuff. W for wedding. So I'm actually working backwards. And the game, whatever reason, asks you twice to confirm. O, which we don't have a ring for, but one does not exist. And then R. And you don't want, there's no D either for her thumb. So there we go. That opens up this, and something's gonna ooze out as I take this plate. I mean, you don't have to sit here and watch it. I just thought I'd show you. Yeah. So we now have the Slate of Knowledge. It's much easier to get out because we just have to follow her. For getting in, it's just easiest to alarm them and run the other way. All right, next thing. I want to take a small bottle, these 2 dolls, and that looks like it. Before we use this item on her, let's take a look at what the bottle actually is. It's a small bottle filled with a clear liquid. The contents smell sharply of ammonia. Probably some sort of smelling salts, an inhalant sometimes used to help restore consciousness and mental alertness. I don't actually know what smelling salts are. I guess I've heard the term. I always kind of assumed it was some sort of powdery substance, but I guess not. It's you, Elster, right? Thank you for your help. Did you find who you're looking for yet? That rifle? I don't think I want to use it again. You can have it. I'm so exhausted. I feel sick. It's hard to breathe. The air in this place feels thick, like you could bite it. It's like there's a fog inside my head. I think I need a moment to rest. Pick up the rifle? Yes. Let's take a look at the rifle. Very high damage. Easily penetrates armor plating, ballistic shields, and enemies. We need to use pickaxe. I want 3 things in this room. We're just gonna go ahead and wait for this person to walk back and forth. It does take a little bit, but these guys are so spaced apart, it's a little annoying to deal with them. So we'll wait for a second for them to flip around. This is a very ominous looking device, but you're totally safe here. But my inventory is full. Sure, I'm stuck. Well, actually, what we have to do is we need to use this wooden doll. So we're actually going to swap inventory spots. It doesn't really matter what order you combine things in, but you do need all 3. You can put the small one in the large one first, and then the medium inside the large one, somehow, I don't know. But just to show you how this works, we're gonna go and combine this. We're gonna take this slate and leave, or try to. We can't do anything. Even though it looks like you should be able to climb that. Well, what happens if we just put the large doll down? Now, the game has a very weird interaction system. I'll show you in a second once we're done here. So we can see that this has only moved a little bit, and it's not enough to let us out. Even though, again, I feel like we should be able to go. Here's what we need to do. We gotta pick up the doll. Then we have to combine this into that, and so we now have 3 dolls into it. Oops. I did mean to right click. This asks you so many times if you want to use it. I don't know why. It makes it sound like it's ominous, but I think it's just poor coding. Yes, I'm going to use this wooden doll that has no other purpose. Yeah, other than games, I've never actually heard of them or seen them. I need to now lure both of these enemies in. The way the room is set up, it's easy for them to try to flank you. That was not even a push. Well, let's go ahead and deposit everything. We just need the balance, the incense stick, these other slates. Now our inventory is full. I think I can do this. Use the incense? Yes. Pick up the plate of love? Yes. Ancestral tablets are lined up against the wall. The names are illegible due to wear. So you might recognize this room as being very similar to the one with keycards in the hospital area. I'm going to put them in the order that we get these in. So the first one we get was the Stone of Eternity. Also, I really like that my map that I've drawn for this entire game is actually laid out like this, unintentionally. So Stone of Eternity, was on the second floor of the game. And then in the what I consider the bottom right, on the lower floor, we get the Stone of Flesh. That was in the first wire room that didn't have monsters in it. And then we went to the Stone of Sacrifice, Plate of Sacrifice. That's the one that did have those monsters coming out of the vents. That's near the save point. Then we got the Plate of Knowledge, which was behind the safe room on the other side of that. So they're using the rings to show off our knowledge. After that, we went over to Isa and used the wooden dolls to show that we had an idea of how balance works, I guess. And finally, the Plate of Love, which we get by using the incense stick at the shrine to show our respect for those who have come before us. Doing so gives all the 6 slates, and we can move on. This should look familiar. Very beginning of the game. It's impossible to move on. I have been here so many times, but I have never returned. The commander never spoke about what she saw out there. I'm sure whatever it was what made her fall sick. Something about her changed when she returned. She was no longer our beloved leader, Falk. What waits beyond the threshold? It doesn't matter. Thank you very much for watching Tran wins SIGNALIS. Alright, I'm just playing with you. A lot of people, when they're playing this game, I guess they really think that this is the end. And I know I'm in a way I'm kind of spoiling it for you now, but I don't want, many people are probably going to have already clicked off by the time they saw the credits. There's actually more game. I'm not talking about just like some mild post-game, here's an endless arena fight for you. No. There's another dungeon with some more surreal story elements. It's still not going to answer questions for you, but it is more of the game. All new areas and everything. What I'm baffled by is how people who have played the game think that they have actually reached the end. Here's what I mean. So if you go by clicking here, and because I've loaded at least once during this playthrough, I'll have shown you this menu. Her eye will follow your cursor around and has a red glow. Right now there's red flakes, it's not moving, it's lifeless. She's actually dead. If you click on anything besides settings, the game continues on to a new chapter. If you click on settings, you get the normal settings as regular. So if you click begin, credits, or even quit, I'm gonna just go and click quit right now. Now, maybe you think, oh, I'm just begun the game. This room is so much brighter than when you first started. It's also hard to see, but your character is wearing a hat now. It's different. If you go into your inventory, you can see that you have your radio, you have your memory of what books you've read. I mean, I don't know. I'm not mad that people have blasted the game for being caught by the credits. I think the game makers had it coming if they're going to do that, and maybe try to make you think the game is over. But you can't leave unless you Alt F4 the game. So yeah, there's actually more game to go on. I'm going to go ahead and end this episode here, but I wanted to leave this for you because I don't want people to just have gone and left thinking like, okay, Tran's reached the end of SIGNALIS, I'm not going to watch his other videos on it. I want you to stick around, obviously. So please stay tuned for the next episode, which should be the conclusion of SIGNALIS. And I think I figured out a way. I'm going to try to do a kind of a new game plus mode later on and get the best ending when I show off like some sort of endings compilation or something. So stay tuned for that as well to see what I can manage. Thank you very much for watching Tran wins SIGNALIS. I'll see you next time.